Hey everybody, it's SakaeCFV here today, and I'm here with a deck profile of Musketeers for Nectars. I wasn't going to do a deck profile of this, but my friend lent me the deck after he made it, and I did manage to get top 4 at our local paid box tournament, which was it's fairly huge, and it's a really good local. So yeah, very competitive. This deck won a lot of really hard matchups, like I won against Perditions, I won against Metalborgs, I won against Sing Saver, a lot of good decks. The only decks that I lost to was Deleters, which they're still really good because they rush you down a lot harder than most decks can do it. And I lost to Liberators because the player piloting that deck he's a really good player. So yeah, it's really hard to compete. But yeah, this deck is extremely good. Our starter is Riza. Counterblast 1, when this unit is put to the drop zone from your Vanguard and your Vanguards in Legion, you can pay the cost. If you do, look at the top 4 cards of your deck and choose 1 Musketeer and call 2 rearguard. Yes, it's really good because when you pop it with Vera skill, then you immediately get a +1 because this goes into the drop zone and then you call something over it with Vera skill, so that's a break even. But then you use her skill and then you counterblast 1 and call something else, that's a +1. Most decks, most of the skills in this deck is just a break even because you call it and then you pop 1 and then you replace it. But this one, you replace like an open rearguard circle, so you get free cards. It's really good. For grade 3s, we run 4 Vera and 4 Martina. Vera is the one that you want to keep rewriting because during the turn that she legions, all of your Musketeer units get plus 3,000. So your Vanguard's hitting 26 unboosted, and all of your other side columns can always hit like 26 or 27, depending on your setup, which is very easy to get. This deck sets up very fast and very easily, which is why it's really good. And it doesn't really care about getting retired because it's really easy to get them back, which is why it's a very good matchup against Kagero. Even though Kagero like wrecks your field, you can get them back very easily. Vera, her second skill is you pop one of your Musketeer rearguards and you look at the top 5 of your deck, you call 1 over it, or not over it, but you can just call it to a rearguard circle. So you can replace anything you want. Generally you don't really want to do that, but that is an option. So we do run 4. Then we run 4 Musketeer Martina. She's okay. She's good at some matchups and she's really bad in other matchups, of course. But it's mainly because in a grind game, you don't really want to be putting back units that are not triggers into your deck. And what she does is put units that are not triggers back into your deck. The only thing she's good for is the fact that you can +2 very early, because when you put back 5, you can look at the top 4 and you call 2 units to separate rearguard circles and shuffle your deck for counterblast 1, and you choose 5 normal units and put it into your bottom of your deck. So you get a very easy +2, and against certain decks, that rush is just really hard for them to deal with because you can fill up your field very fast and you can still be on the defensive. But certain other matchups, you just don't really want to do that. You just kind of want to commit to your field from your hand and then hope and get triggers because your deck is triggers. But if you keep putting back stuff, then you're not going to be hitting triggers, which is it's as much as I don't like hitting triggers, like making it a main point to hit triggers, you still need triggers to kind of win this game, like not by sacking but by flipping them, because you need power, and power helps push your rearguards, right? For grade 2s, I am running 3 of the Legion mates for Martina. When she's called to rearguard circle, you can pop one of your other Musketeer units if your Vanguard is in Legion, and then you just look at the top 4 cards and call one to rearguard circle and then shuffle your deck. So she's useful, but she's not very useful because after you ride like Vera, you're already fixing your field, and when you get these, you have to pop another unit, so you can't pop itself. And a lot of the times your back row is just 3 Murkas, and you don't really want to pop any of them. So yeah, she's not very helpful. The only reason why it's at 3 is because she is a Legion mate for Martina, and there was a game today where I damage checked 2 of them. So if I was only running 2, I would be pretty much screwed that entire game until I flip a heal, which is not really ideal not ideal at all. 2, Pansy Musketeer Sylvia. Very, very strong card because almost every card in this deck breaks even because it pops one and then replaces it. This one, when it's placed on Vanguard Circle, you just take the top card and put it into a Rearguard Circle. So it's a very easy +1. If it's a trigger, then who cares? If it's a stand trigger, then that's really free. If it's any other trigger, you can just pop it with Vera's skill and call another unit. So you can turn that free fodder into anything you want really on the top 5. Which is oftentimes I've turned the trigger that Sylvia gave me into an Augusto, which is the 12k beater, or America, which is the 12k booster. Yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do. So yeah, I would personally prefer to run this at 3, but I can't find the room right now because Legion is hard. Legion is very hard. Running 3 of the Legion mate for Vera because I don't want to run 2 and then damage check 2 of them again. And you also re-Legion a lot with Vera, so you need this kind of quantity. You can't run any less. When she attacks during the turn your Vanguard Legions, you can put back 3 normal units from your drop zone to the bottom of your deck and then draw a card. So yeah, you kind of fuck up your ratios just to draw 1 card that is probably a trigger. It's not that great. I drew into a stand trigger too many times and I really don't like her skill. Yeah. And then I'm running 4 Augustos. 12k beater. Yeah, simple as that. When you have a Musketeer Vanguard, this is a 12k beater. Pretty much the key card that you are looking for whenever you do any skills, because this is the card that you will rush down people with. Paired up with Mirka, this column is always hitting 21k. Or if you Legioned with Vera, this is a 27k column. So you're going to kill people very fast if they are unaware of this deck's power. Very, very fast. For grade 1s, we will run 3 Rebecca. When she's placed on Rearguard Circle, choose one of your Rearguards with Musketeers name and Counterblast 1. This actually works on Vanguard too, but you never have a damage at grade 1, so I don't know why. But anyways, Counterblast 1, choose one of your Rearguards, pop it, look at the top 4, and then call 1 to a Rearguard Circle. And then shuffle your deck. So yeah, it's really good for fixing your field really early. Like if you have a draw trigger in your hand and then you have something else, you can play this, pop a draw trigger, and then potentially get a grade 2 that you can intercept with and attack with. It's really, really good. So yeah, I run it at 3. Because 4 is a little bit cloggy. It counterblasts, and a lot of the stuff in this deck also counterblasts, so it's a little bit, it's competing too much for counterblasting. This is Mirka. This is the broken little piece of shit, and it's great because I love it. She's also really cute. So when you boost a Nectar unit, if you have a Nectar Vanguard, this unit gets +3 if you shuffled your deck during that turn. So this doesn't have to be on the field to get +3, it just means that if you shuffled your deck that turn and then you called this after, this is a 9k booster. Paired up with Vera, this is a 12k booster. 12,000 booster. 12! Holy shit. So you can hit 24 columns with anything, and then if you have a grade 3, you can hit a 26 column, and then if you have a Gusto, you can hit 727. So yeah, the rushes are so real with this deck, it actually just kills people like randomly. It's great. If they're not prepared for it, they just lose. It's really hard to play around decks that just rush you down with high numbers with like every column. This is Susana. She's also really cute. She has leaf for hairs. You Soul Blast 2 when this is placed on Rearguard and unflip 2 damage. Again, we use a lot of Counterblast, so we kind of need this. And this is also a Musketeer, so we can call this off the top of our decks too. It's really good. And we don't really use Soul for anything else, so every time you re-ride, that's 2 extra Soul that you can use for Susana. Yes, very, very value. And 4 Quintet Walls. Main reason why we're running Quintets instead of Perfect Guards is because we kind of want to just mill our deck and fuel the graveyard or the drop zone for Martina's skill. And Martina's skill is a very crucial skill because if you can't get it off when you ride her, or like for multiple turns, then you kind of the earlier you get it off anyways, the better it is because you're not really screwing up your trigger to non-trigger ratio that much. But the later in the game it gets, the more triggers are still in your deck, and then if you start putting them back, if you start putting like normal units back into your deck past like mid game, you are really screwing it up. So yeah, 4 quintets. It's really good. It saved me a lot of times because you can aggressively quintet wall like any attack. Like someone was attacking me for like 11,000, I just quintet wall because I can, and it's pretty much free because it is just one card. Yeah, it's really good. And then for our trigger lineup, I'm Asian. We run 4 of the Musketeer crits and 1 of the non-Musketeer crits. I'm running 5 crits because the 5th crit, this one, just randomly kills people sometimes because they don't expect a 5th one. Everyone thinks that you're running rainbow triggers because we technically kind of are with the 4 Musketeer heals. Most people run 4 Musketeer draw triggers and then the 4 Musketeer stands. So most people run rainbow. I run the 1 extra crit just to throw off everything because everyone plays around just 4-4-4, and if I run the 1 extra, it actually just kills people because they no guard because they don't think I have a crit, and I flipped the crit, and it actually happened today. I'm very sorry, Adam, but you know, I love you. I have 4 of the stand trigger. This is like catch goal on crack because it doesn't need to be played from deck, and it also doesn't need to be used immediately. So you can call this as a booster until you have the counterblast to use it, and then you can just use it. So yeah, it's really good. You can put this behind Augusto, and it's a 16k column. It's great because it's a 16k column, and then you can replace this later if you need it, you know? This also goes back to the bottom of your deck, so it goes back into the deck, it doesn't go to the drop zone, so you are just putting stands back into your deck. Like, it's free. It's great. And then you're just replacing it with a better unit. 3 draws, because drawing is fun, and sometimes when we hit these draws, it's really nice. And you hit them more often than not, so it's okay. We just run 3. If you want to, this deck, you can run 8 criticals, and it's perfectly fine because you don't really commit your hand to the field anyways, so you don't really need to draw. But I like to draw because I like to win, and I like to live, so I run 3. Yeah, it's good. It's good. And then 4 heals because it's the same reason as my draw triggers. I want to unflip damage and live and win. And yeah, so 5 criticals, 3 draw triggers, 4 stand triggers, and 4 heal triggers. And they're all Musketeer except for that 1 crit trigger, which is, what's its name? Chestnut Bullet. And yeah, that is my deck profile. Again, this deck performed extremely well, beyond my expectations. I went into this box tournament with this deck thinking, you know, it's gonna be a fun time. Because, you know, I'm just gonna piss people off and play extra long and play extra slow. But as, you know, I played the deck more, I kind of just grew into it. And I kind of just saw the potential power and decided to just play for real and wreck people. Which kind of happened, kind of. I got to top 4, and again, I was beat by Gold Paladin Liberator, Philip, who's he's really good. He's just too good at this game, and I actually just lost because, you know. But yeah, it was a really good matchup. I lost him twice actually, once before the tops, and then once again in the top. And yeah, nothing else to really say about that. Yeah, if you like rogue decks, this is not really a rogue deck. I mean, I guess it is because not a lot of people play it. But if you like decks with extreme power and like rush people down and stuff, then this is the deck for you. It's not very scummy or anything. It's just fair play. And if you can outsmart your opponent and play extremely fast and play the right like opportunities, then yeah, this deck will win you a lot of stuff. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be coming out with more videos soon, I guess. I don't know, maybe like once a week because I kind of slowed down. Not a lot of decks to be profiled, I guess. Maybe I'll start uploading like fight videos because, you know, those are always interesting to watch. And yeah, and maybe more discussion videos because there are a lot of stuff I want to discuss, such as this current meta, which is really, everyone's depending too much on the Japanese meta, translating over to English meta when stuff is released, which it's not really right, because they play differently, and they have different people, but, you know, things happen. anyways, yeah, I'll leave that to a separate video hopefully, and talk to you guys later. Bye.